Welcome back, everyone, to Cliffhangers and Page Turners. Hope you had a good week.
Hope so. Mine was pretty intense, actually. Spent a lot of it thinking about this book.
Oh, tell me about it. This one completely took over my thoughts, just emotionally wrecked me, but, in that way, a really powerful book does.
Exactly. It gets under your skin, doesn't it? You just keep replaying scenes, thinking about the characters. It lingers.
Absolutely. So before we dive into this incredible novel, just a quick reminder. If you're into gripping book discussions, and let's face it, some pretty wild plot twists, definitely hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, do it. We drop new episodes every Friday on all the usual podcast platforms.
But remember, for the full library, all the older episodes, you can only find those over on YouTube.
Okay, so today we are getting into Amanda Peeters' fantastic debut, The Berry Pickers.
And it's built around this really devastating core event, isn't it?
It is. It forces you to live in these two parallel, painful realities simultaneously. There's the world of the family left behind.
And the world of the girl who is taken, who has to live a completely different constructed life.
Our whole conversation today revolves around that single moment, the disappearance of little Ruthie. She's Micmac, part of this berry-picking community in Maine, way back in 1962.
And we followed the ripples of that disappearance for 50 years through two main characters.
Exactly. We've got Joe, her older brother. He's consumed by grief and guilt for literally decades.
And then there's Norma, the stolen girl, living this other life, but always haunted, always feeling like something's wrong.
It's just a masterful look at identity, memory, trauma, and how systems fail people. There's a lot here.
There really is. So let's start at the beginning. That summer, Maine, 1962. The summer, everything just shattered.
Peeters puts us right there, doesn't she? Maine, 1962. And it's not the idyllic picture some might have. It's gritty.
Oh, yeah. It's sensory overload. The heat, the endless black flies buzzing everywhere.
Ugh, the black flies.
The smell of cedar from the cabins, the smoke from the campfires. It's a whole specific world.
And it's a transient world. The Micmac families are there to pick berries for the landowners. Joe's family, Mom, Dad, Lewis, Ben, May, Charlie, Joe himself, and little Ruthie. They have one of the few cabins.
But others are intense. It's a temporary, hard life.
And that temporary nature, that transience, is used against them right away. They're separate from the nearby town, the white folks.
Yeah, and the racism is just there. Casual, almost offhand, but so cruel.
You remember that bit Joe recalls? About the store owners?
Oh, yeah. Saying the indigenous pickers were better because they had something sour in our blood that kept the flies off them.
Exactly. It's presented almost like a compliment, but it's so dehumanizing it sets them apart as fundamentally other.
Less than, not proper citizens, as the police later say.
But then you get that moment from Joe, looking back as a child. He sees through it.
Black flies don't discriminate.
Right. Such a simple, profound observation. Nature doesn't care about these human divisions. But human systems, that's another story. It perfectly sets up the failures to come.
And we learn pretty quickly this family is already carrying heavy burdens. It's not just the hardship of the work.
No, there's the historical trauma. Peeters brings in the legacy of the residential schools, the Indian school, through Ben and May, the older siblings.
It's chilling. They'd been sent away, forced into this place where the Indian agent, Mr. Hughes, claimed hard work will build their character.
Help them become proper, contributing citizens. That phrase just drips with assimilationist ideology, trying to erase their identity.
And the father, Lewis, his reaction is pure rage, ripping up those letters from the agent, refusing to cooperate.
He fought to get them back. And they did get them back. The family feels whole again, briefly.
And then, almost immediately, Ruthie vanishes. The timing is just agonizing.
It is.
Yeah.
And Joe's memory of her, the last memory, it's all these small, innocent things.
Yeah, how quiet she was, how she loved fireflies, that little sundress she wore.
The one with the patches from his old trousers, corduroy patches. Even the clothes tell a story of making do, of shared lives.
And the guilt he carries for 50 years, it latches onto such a tiny thing. Throwing away a piece of bread because he wasn't supposed to waste it, and whispering to Ruthie, "Don't you tell on me, Ruthie."
That little secret. That becomes the anchor for all his self-loathing later on. It's heartbreaking.
So Ruthie disappears, and the first response isn't from the authorities, is it?
No, it's the community.
Yeah.
The Micmac camp mobilizes instantly. Everyone's searching, shouting her name. Joe says the trees knew her name by heart. It's this collective, desperate effort.
But when they need outside help, when Lewis finally goes to the police...
That's when the system shows its true colors. The officer just dismisses him.
Because they're not being proper Maine citizens. Because they're known transients. He won't spare the officers.
A break-in at a farm supply store is more important. Property over a child's life. An indigenous child's life.
You see Lewis's fury then. Grabbing the officer, realizing just how vulnerable they are, how little they matter to the people in charge.
And then, weeks later, the Indian agent, Mr. Hughes, shows up. And instead of helping,
he uses the tragedy against them.
Right. How do you lose a child, Lewis? Threatening to take the other kids back to the school, using their grief as leverage.
It's monstrous. Lewis has to pull a shotgun on him just to protect what's left of his family. He can't rely on the law. He has to threaten violence against the state's representative.
Utter powerlessness. They search for 6 weeks, Route 9, up and down, until they have to pack up, move on. But Ruthie isn't forgotten.
No. The mother's grief, the way she finds Ruthie's little winter boots and the sock doll.
And puts them away carefully. She'll need them when she comes home.
That conviction, that refusal to let go of hope, it's how she survives.
But Joe internalizes the opposite. He internalizes the dismissal, the cruelty. He comes to believe he was expendable.
That awful, simple matter of math conclusion he reaches. The youngest boy. The one that could be spared.
In that belief, that sense of being disposable, it just poisons his entire future. It sets the stage for everything that happens to him later.
Which means we need to shift perspective now. To the girl who wasn't spared. The girl who became Norma.
Right, so we switch to Norma's life, and it's jarring. Wealth, privilege... outwardly, a completely different world from the Berry camps.
But inwardly, she's completely adrift. That feeling she has, constantly.
My house was not my house. Nothing was where it was supposed to be. A deep, fundamental sense of wrongness.
Her subconscious knows, doesn't it? Even if her conscious mind can't place it. The dreams.
The dreams are so key. There are 2 recurring ones. The bright dream.
That's the kidnapping, isn't it? The car ride, sun, the smell of new leather, soap. Her brown legs sticking to the seat. It's all sensory detail.
Exactly. Physical sensations tied to that traumatic journey. And then there's the dark dream.
The connection back home. The campfire. A woman in shadow, her birth mother, Kiju reaching for her.
And the coyote howl. A sound from her Micmac life. She feels love for this shadowy woman, this memory, but she can't name her. The identity is blocked, but the feeling persists.
Meanwhile, her adoptive parents, Lenore and Frank, are desperately trying to keep the lie going.
And their attempts are just, sometimes laughably thin, especially the explanation for her appearance.
Oh, God, your great-grandfather was Italian line. When Norma clearly has darker skin, indigenous features.
It's not just absurd, it's actively cruel. It erases her heritage, replaces it with something convenient, something they find acceptable. They're terrified of the truth.
And Lenore, the adoptive mother, her denial is softer, more manipulative.
It's just a dream, my sweet girl. Making Norma doubt herself, making her feel guilty for questioning things.
That guilt is the real poison in Norma's childhood, isn't it? She feels responsible for Lenore's happiness.
Totally. She believes her job is to make her mother forget about the dead babies, the children Lenore lost before she took Ruthie.
So Norma walks on eggshells, believes her own sadness, her own questions are causing her mother's headaches. It's an incredible burden for a child.
It creates this suffocating atmosphere. Constant monitoring, Lenore hovering. Norma only feels free at school or in the shower.
She even suspects her mother would watch her in the shower if she could. It shows Lenore's deep insecurity. She has to constantly check that her stolen prize is still there.
It gets so bad they bring in Alice, the psychologist.
Alice is like a lifeline, isn't she? The first person who seems to validate Norma's feelings suggests they aren't just dreams.
She encourages the journal and sets that crucial boundary. No talking of babies. Not the lost ones, not the toy ones.
And Norma has this moment of freedom, right? A genuine smile, a safe space.
For about 5 minutes. Because then Lenore picks her up, puts her arm around her, calls her my precious little baby.
And boom! The guilt, the responsibility, it all comes crashing back down. She learns safety is temporary. Her real job is managing her mother's grief.
The first real crack in the story appears when Norma's a teenager. The photos.
Finding that box in the basement. Photos of Lenore, Frank, Aunt June, dated 1960.
When Norma should have been 2 years old. But she's not in them. Anywhere.
That absence is concrete proof. She wasn't with them then.
And Lenore's reaction confirms it all. The sudden, frantic headache when Norma shows her the pictures.
And then the photos just vanish. Disappeared. Lenore can't handle the truth surfacing.
The full truth doesn't start coming out until decades later, though, when Lenore's dementia sets in.
Right, the secrets start slipping out, like finding her mother searching for her wedding ring in the snow, thinking Frank is still alive and coming home soon.
The dementia breaks down the walls she built around those painful memories, and the big secret.
Which leads to the confession in the nursing home.
Yeah. In this moment of confused clarity, Lenore admits it. Driving the back roads, crying about her lost babies.
She saw you sitting on a rock all by yourself.
She saw a child alone, interpreted it through her own desperate grief, and just took her. It wasn't premeditated, maybe, but opportunistic, driven by loss.
And Norma finally confronts it head on. Are you telling me that my mother kidnapped me? The anger is so raw.
And it's not just at Lenore, it's at Aunt June, too.
Oh, absolutely. Aunt June knew the whole time. She lied to Alice, the psychologist, saying Norma was adopted. 50 years of complicity.
Protecting her sister, maybe, but condemning Norma to decades of living a lie. Silence as a weapon.
So Nora needs to find the place. She makes Aunt June take her back to Route 9.
And the rock isn't there anymore. Just disturbed earth, like the truth being unearthed in her own life.
But she finds the cabin nearby, the one from her memories, her dreams, now freshly painted, but familiar.
And the smells hit her.
Potatoes boiling, tobacco.
The smells of the Micmac camp, the smells from the dark dream, it all connects. This place of trauma is also her origin. She knows.
Okay, so while Norma, or Ruthie now, is finding her way back, we need to check back in with Joe. His 50 years have been rough.
Understatement. That guilt over losing Ruthie just festered. It led to more tragedy. Charlie's death.
Right, at the carnival, Charlie steps in to help someone. A fight breaks out.
And Joe runs for help instead of staying. By the time he gets back with Ben and May, it's too late. Charlie's dead.
And Joe blames himself entirely. He ran. He left Charlie alone. It just adds another layer to his self-hatred.
All that unresolved grief, that rage turned inwards, it finally explodes outwards. In his marriage to Cora.
That scene is brutal. Getting drunk, hitting her, breaking her nose, leaving her bloody and bruised.
It's horrific, and his remorse is instant, overwhelming, but the damage is done. That act, hurting Cora, the mother of his daughter Leah, that's the final straw for him.
He leaves, goes west, self-exile. He sees it as penance, like he doesn't deserve a family anymore.
Spends years just drifting. Lumber camps, sending money home, but staying away.
Tracing the stars at night.
Yeah, that detail. It's a direct link back to that last night with Ruthie watching the stars on the blanket. His subconscious is still holding on to her, even as he runs.
He only comes back when May calls. Tells him about his daughter Leah, a reason to return, a hint of connection remaining.
So he returns to Maine, back to the fields, and he starts fixing up the old family cabin.
But it's more than just repairs, isn't it? The painting.
Oh, the painting. Covering the inside walls with scenes from his childhood. The campfire. The kids under the stars. He's trying to rebuild the past, literally paint it back into existence. A memorial. A penance.
But the past isn't done with him. He goes back to Route 9 to see the rock. Ruthie's rock.
And it's gone.
Just gone. A hole in the ground. This dirt piled up like someone tried to erase her completely.
That absence, the removal of that last physical marker of his memory, his guilt, it breaks him. Physically.
Kicking the dirt, screaming, and then the coughing starts. Coughing blood, his body just gives out. All the grief, the alcohol, the years of self-neglect, it signals the end is near for him.
But just as Joe is fading, Ruthie is getting closer.
Right. After Aunt June points her to the area, she goes to the Ellis office, the landowners.
And the son, the current Mr. Ellis, remembers the family, remembers Charlie, good worker, remembers the family's bad fortune.
And then he mentions Joe. Just lived here a couple months ago. Tells her about the painted cabin.
The connection, it's right there. And that's when Norma tests the name. Whispered it.
Ruthie. For the first time, feeling it fit.
She goes straight to the cabin, sees the paintings on the walls, the campfire, and the stars. Her dreams made real. Confirmation.
Joe's asleep, looking frail. She doesn't wake him.
No. But she leaves her mark. Traces her name in the dust on his table. Ruthie.
Such a powerful, quiet moment.
The reunion happens quickly after that.
Oh.
She calls May, sends photos.
He knows instantly. Spit an image of my mother. Tells her to come home to Nova Scotia.
In the bedside scene with Joe, it's just devastatingly sad and beautiful. He's so frail, so shamed. He tries to turn away.
Maya has to guide Ruthie in. Ruthie sits down quickly, afraid she'll overwhelm him, and he just cries. 50 years of held-back tears.
But the real click, the memory fully aligns with the identity that happens with her mother, Kiju.
Maya gives her the sock doll, the one Kiju saved for 50 years.
Ruthie holds it, brings it to her nose, breathes in.
And smells it. Campfire and summer evenings.
That's it. The sensory trigger, the smell of home. The Micmac child she was connects with the woman she is now. Really belongs.
And there's one final piece of healing, isn't there? With Kiju.
Yes. Ruthie shares her own loss. Her baby, Sarah. Kiju, deeply faithful, is grappling with the return of this daughter she mourned for decades.
And Ruthie agrees to write Sarah's name in the family Bible. It's an act of acknowledging Kiju's faith, but also of sharing grief. It connects them.
It helps Kiju process both losses, the 50 years without Ruthie, and Ruthie's loss of Sarah. A shared maternal understanding. And the book ends not with some huge dramatic scene, but
laughter. Shared laughter in the car. A quiet release after so much sorrow. #tag critical analysis and thematic debate.
It's a powerful ending, but there's still so much to unpack, like that question of identity. Norma versus Ruthie.
Yeah, was Norma's life just a compromise? Or did the resilience she built as Norma actually help Ruthie emerge?
It's complex, isn't it? I mean, Norma had resources Ruthie wouldn't have had. Education, independence, those things helped her investigate, find the truth.
True. She needed Norma's skills, maybe, to find her way back to being Ruthie. But that resilience came at a huge cost. Decades of feeling wrong, of carrying manufactured guilt.
Right. Ruthie feels like the authentic self, connected to community, tradition, the land. Norma was a role she had to play to survive. So maybe it took Norma's tools, but Ruthie's heart and memory to make the journey complete.
That makes sense. And the guilt. The book shows different kinds so clearly. Joe's guilt.
That's operational guilt, I'd call it. Guilt for specific actions or inactions. Losing Ruthie, running when Charlie died, hitting Cora, abandoning his family, concrete things he blames himself for.
And it's tied into that systemic stuff too, right? Believing he was the one that could be spared because the authorities treated them as disposable. His guilt is partly internalizing that prejudice.
Exactly. It fuels his self-destruction. But Norma's guilt is totally different.
It's completely manufactured, imposed on her. Guilt for existing, for having feelings, for maybe upsetting Lenore, guilt for sweating on the car seats.
It wasn't about what she did. It was about controlling her, keeping her bound to that false family. It paralyzed her for years.
Both types are devastating, but they lead to different outcomes. Joe runs away, Norma stays trapped.
And memory, how trauma lives in the body. Peters handles that so well.
Through the senses. Norma's dreams are physical, the smell of leather, the feel of the sun, then later the smell of potatoes, tobacco.
And the sock doll. The smell of campfire is the final key. It bypasses all the lies, connects directly to her earliest memories.
For Joe, too. Tracing the stars. It's his body, his subconscious, remembering Ruthie even when he's trying to forget. Memory tied to place, to senses. It feels very true to indigenous ways of knowing, too.
Absolutely. Which brings us back to the root cause, systemic failure.
It all comes back to that police officer in 1962, refusing to search because they were Micmac, transients.
That single act of indifference rooted in prejudice set everything in motion. It wasn't just bad luck. It was a predictable consequence of how that community was marginalized.
And it didn't just cause the loss, it fueled everything after, empowered the Indian agent, fed Joe's despair, his alcoholism, maybe even contributed to Charlie's death indirectly.
Peters connects the personal grief to that larger historical oppression so skillfully. Ruthie finding her way back is a personal victory, a testament to resilience.
But it doesn't fix the system that allowed it to happen. The book makes you see that the fight for identity is often a fight against those larger forces, too.
Definitely. And the ending, with Ruthie integrating back into the family, caring for Joe, sharing her grief with Kiju, writing Sarah's name in the Bible. It feels like an act of reclaiming, using their own culture, their own faith, to heal a wound inflicted from outside.
Yeah, that shared laughter at the end. It's quiet, but it's huge. It says joy is still possible, connection is possible, even after unimaginable loss once the truth is faced.
Wow. Okay, so The Berry Pickers. Just an incredible book.
Devastating, yes, but ultimately, like you said, restorative. That structure, weaving Joe's story and Norma Ruthie's story together until they finally collide, it's perfectly done.
Amanda Peters really explores trauma, identity, memory, the weight of history. And she does it with such nuance and empathy. The depiction of the Micmac community, their strength alongside their burdens, it feels so real and vital.
It's unforgettable. We absolutely highly recommend The Berry Pickers. Go read it if you haven't. It's complex, it's heartbreaking, it's beautifully written, a real achievement.
Agreed. It's one of those books that will definitely stay with you. Powerful, powerful story.
Okay, looking ahead, we've got something very different lined up for next time.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 30, we're diving into The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig, so brace yourselves for some chills, horror, mystery. Should be fun.
Sounds intense.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Until then, keep reading, everyone.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed our chat about The Berry Pickers, please do us a solid like, comment, share it with fellow book lovers.
And please hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube. It really helps us out.
We appreciate you all listening. See you next week.